YouTube cuties, I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me. My tripod, my bigger tripod, was broken by a child that just turned 9 but shall remain nameless. So I'm stuck back again using the table, and the mini tripod is my setup. So I have no idea if you can see me. I'm hoping that you're getting me from here up, but I really don't know. So we're winging this today. I was just given the request. One of you just asked me, and I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with screen names and with names in general. I stink at remembering people's names. It takes me forever. I also have a facial recognition issue, but that's neither here nor there. One of you just asked me, one of you just told me, and I remember the details. You have a 6-year-old son, it's your birthday trip, you're going in May, your first trip. I'm so excited for you. But you asked me to do a vlog on first trips, and it dawned on me that I've never actually done a beginner's first time vlog. I've only really done packing vlogs, and I've done etiquette vlogs, and I've done, you know, how to behave in the parks and what to pack and little kids and road trips, but I've never actually done a what to experience, what to expect, what to do your first time out vlog. So I started a list in my notebook, and I asked some of my Disney pals for their best tips and their best advice on what to tell you to do, so that I didn't miss anything. So I have a list of 14 or 15 things that should get you started. It should be a good part 1 of this anyway. I may end up doing a part 2 because that's the thing about Disney World, is it's not something that you can see in one trip. And that's definitely probably my tip number 1, is don't plan on seeing everything, because you're not going to. I've said before, I'm 50 plus trips in, and I am still seeing new things every day, or every trip, and I wish every day. I'm still seeing new things with every trip that we go on. I've run across things and I'm like, has this been here all along? Because I had no idea. Perfect example. We were by the castle in the Magic Kingdom, and instead of taking the right path, we took the left path. And I'd never seen Cinderella's Wishing Well with the mice and stuff on it. I'll tell you where to find it in a second. But my 50 plus trips, all my times in Magic Kingdom, I claiming the Magic Kingdom is my favorite park, and I'd never seen this feature. How is that possible? I actually stood there looking at it for about 30 seconds going, where did you come from? How have I never seen you before? So yes, so you are not going to see everything. It is almost physically impossible to see everything in one trip. So that's my tip number 1, is don't make yourself crazy trying to see everything on your first trip, because it's not going to happen. And that's part of the fun, is that every time you go back, there's something new to see. There's something that you haven't seen before. There's something to look forward to. Which brings me to my second tip, which is one that I've mentioned before, and it's to steal from my husband, it's my trident of my kind of holy trinity of things that you need to remember in Disney World, and that is that you must be patient, you must have a sense of humor, and you must be kind. You must remember that the people that you are around, that you're going to be there with thousands and thousands of people that you've never met before, thousands and thousands of strangers, people from all parts of the country, all parts of the world, people from different ethnic backgrounds, people from different financial backgrounds, people from different moral compasses, different senses of, you know, of completely different sensibilities than yours, different sense of awareness than yours, just different customs, different languages, different behaviors. So you have to go expecting that not everybody is going to be like you, and you are going to encounter some rude people. It does happen. You're going to have to learn to laugh them off. Don't let them ruin your vacation. Don't let them ruin your day. It happens. And for that's why you have to pack your patience. Pack your patience, because there are lines. You will encounter lines. You will encounter, you know, you're just going to be interacting with a lot of different people all the time. And patience is key. Like I said, if you go expecting to see everything and you go with your head down and your blinders on and you're rushing to the next ride, you're going to miss out on a lot. And that includes interactions with your fellow park guests. One of my favorite things to do, or one of our family favorite things to do, is when you look out for the birthday buttons. You'll probably get one on your trip because it's your birthday, and I'll tell you how to do that in a little bit. But I have to remember to go back to that. Whenever we see a birthday button, we always wish that person a happy birthday. We always yell out happy birthday, and it makes their day a little bit brighter, and it makes us feel good, and it's a nice interaction with somebody in the park. When you're sitting on the bus in the getting to the parks, if you're staying at an on-site resort, Talk to your fellow passengers, get to know them. You never know where they're from. I was sitting on a bus a couple trips ago. These two families that had never met each other. Within 5 minutes, were best friends, were exchanging emails, were showing pictures of babies and horses and dogs and cats and all sorts of critters. You never know who you're going to be sitting next to. It's kind of nice to open up your mouth and say hi to your fellow guests. You've got something in common for sure. There's common ground there, and that's the love for Disney World. Your sense of humor. You have to pack it. You have to have it with you to have a good vacation, and that's for any vacation. That's not just a Disney vacation. But sometimes the characters will interact with you in a funny way, or the cast members will interact with you in a funny way. They'll joke you, they'll tease you, they'll play. You have to have your sense of humor. You have to be able to laugh. Especially like MGM Studios, the cast members there are supposed to pick on you if you allow them to. They're supposed to be interactive. They're supposed to be a little snarky, and it's 1940s Hollywood, and the director's a little snarky, and all the super actresses are a little snarky. You have to pack your sense of humor. Disney World is a fun, funny place to be. Second thing I have on my list, which is actually the third thing, I guess, because I gave you one that wasn't on my list. Comfy shoes. It was when I asked for the suggestions, that was the first thing that popped up on my Twitter feed was comfy shoes. So comfy shoes. Absolutely, it's muy importante that you pack comfy shoes because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. I've said before, Disney World is not a relaxing vacation. It's just not. No matter how much you try, no matter how much time you want to chill out at the pool, ultimately, you're going to be walking around the resorts and you're going to be doing a lot of walking. There is a lot of walking to be done. Veterans suggest that you pack more than one pair of well broken in shoes and a whole lot of socks. I kind of tend to agree with that. I also take it a step further and I pack the blister block. I think it's maybe made by Band-Aid. And you just rub it on your heels or you rub it on your feet. That helps. I also pack like a peppermint foot lotion for the end of the day. That really helps too. But comfy shoes are absolutely key. And when I say comfy shoes, I don't mean heels. I don't mean cowboy boots. I don't mean kitten heels. I don't mean flip-flops. I don't mean Uggs. Please don't wear Uggs in the park. I definitely don't mean flip-flops. I said flip-flops, right? I mean, when I say comfy shoes, it's all over my hands. When I say comfy shoes, I mean sneakers. I mean slip-ons like Vans, but mostly sneakers. I'm talking Converse are really comfortable, tennis shoes are comfortable, running shoes, walking shoes are comfortable. If you're going to go out and buy a new pair of shoes before the trip, do it a few weeks before and walk around in them and make sure that you're comfortable in them and that they're not going to give you blisters. Make sure that they're well broken in shoes. Nothing can ruin a day or a trip faster than blisters. I mentioned before about the resorts. One of the tips that I give, and there are people that will argue this with me. I think for me, or for my family, for even when I was single, and I've stayed both on and off site. For me, there's really no choice. You have to stay on site to really get the magic 100%. To stay on site, and Disney has resorts in all price ranges. They start at I think $80, and then they work their way up to whatever. But it's affordable. I mean, you can certainly make it work on a shoestring budget if you need to. And the perks of that staying on site are you get the Disney buses, you get transportation, which is included in everything that I'm going to mention to you right now is included in the price of your hotel room stay. You get transportation, you get the Magical Express, which I'll talk about more in a few minutes. I need to write that down so that I don't forget. The Magical Express is the bus that takes you from the airport. And then you get, sorry, I'm just writing this down so I don't forget, because I do that a lot. I start talking to you guys about something and then I forget, and then I don't go back to it. Extra magic hours too are really important. Extra magic hours are Disney staggers the days. Some days a park will be open an hour or so earlier, and some days it will stay open a couple hours later but it's only for resort guests. So you and however many, you used to know how many rooms were on Disney property, and I don't know now. But you and a couple thousand of your favorite closest people will have access to the parks either early in the morning, an hour or so early, or a couple hours later. And it really does make a difference. It's really kind of nice knowing that either you can get to the parks in the warmer weather, get to the parks earlier so that you can beat the heat, and then or if it's an extra magic hour at night, you can go in the morning, go back to your room, go to the pool, nap, chill, relax, and then go back to the parks at night. So just kind of a really nice perk that you get from staying on site and staying in the resorts. Plus, you really get the magic more than you would staying off site. And this way, you also don't have to rent a car. You don't have to rely on hotels that have unreliable shuttles. I really think that staying on site, especially for your very first trip, is kind of an important thing to do. I think it's definitely part of the whole Disney vacation. You will have to buy a park pass. That is not included in your hotel package. You have to have a park pass to get into any of the 4 parks. So your park pass can either be they have a name for it and I can't come up with what it is, but it's basically 1 park per day pass, or you can get something that they call a park hopper. I would never get just a straight 1 day, 1 park pass, because I think it's too limiting, especially for my family. And I keep looking up because my kids are upstairs, and that's why I keep gesturing up. It's not like they're in heaven or anything, it's not like that. But anyway, we always do the park hopper pass, simply because we are the kind of family that we're done with Magic Kingdom by 10 a.m. We want to go to Epcot for lunch. We're done with Epcot for lunch. We want to go to MGM for dinner. We're only doing Animal Kingdom for half a day now. We'll go back to the pools and then at night do Magic Kingdom. So we like to bounce around. We like to spend, a couple hours in each park, and, that's just how we do our vacations. For your first trip, I still say get the hopper. I do. Especially just because you can take the monorail from Magic Kingdom over to Epcot. You can take the ferry from Epcot. You can take the ferry from Epcot to MGM. The only one that you can't do that with is Animal Kingdom. But it's just kind of a nice option to have. If it's not in your budget, if for some reason you can't afford a hopper, don't sweat it. The 1 park per day pass is just as good. And maybe for your first time, it's not such a bad thing to concentrate on 1 park per day. All depends on how you want to roll. I recommend the dining plan. I definitely think that the dining plan is the way to go for your meals. That's a whole other vlog. I have a vlog up about it. It's still something that I know how it works. I know that it works. I know that for my family it works. I just have a hard time explaining to you what it is. In a nutshell, and I don't know all the ins and outs. I'm not that versed in it. I just know that we buy it every time and it works for my family. Bottom line is we get the basic meal plan. You pay upfront before you go. I think you have to book within 48 hours of your trip. I think that's it. And you get 1 sit-down meal that is a waiter or table service. 1 counter service, which is Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe and Magic Kingdom. I can't even come up with anything right now. The American Pavilion at Epcot. Starring rolls. Well, that could be your snack credit. I don't know. The cafeteria. I don't know. I'm blanking right now on Pizza Planet. There, Pizza Planet in MGM, and I don't know, Pizzafari in Animal Kingdom. And then you get a snack, which can be a bottle of water, a pretzel, a Mickey bar, a funnel cake, a Dole Whip. It's plenty of food for a day, is what I'm telling you. And we just think for our family, it's just cost effective. It's just worth it for us to buy the meal plan, and it's definitely something that you should look into. We never rent a car. We have never, in all my 15 years of being with my husband and going down to Disney World, and even prior to that, we have never rented a car. We've never needed to rent a car because we've always stayed on property, and we've always found Disney transportation to be just fine for us. That's totally your call, totally up to you. That's a personal preference. Make advanced reservations for restaurants, going back to dining. You can make them, even if you're off the dining plan, you absolutely can make dining reservations. And I highly recommend doing so. Reservations just kind of, they add a small amount of structure to your day. And plus, you'll know what restaurant you're trying. You can check out the menus. It just kind of, like I said, it adds structure to your day. Not a lot. It doesn't, dictate your entire day, but you'll know where you are at 3 o'clock. You're having lunch at Crystal Palace with Pooh at 3. You know you have to be in the Magic Kingdom at that time. Plus, if you walk up, I feel like I'm doing this video in such a strange way. Walking up for a table is not always guaranteed. I will tell you that I have never, I shouldn't say never. Once or twice we've been turned away for a table, or the wait has been too long for us. But if you choose not to do advanced dining reservations and you choose to go more loosey-goosey, you're not going to lose out on, the time you're going in May. If you're going in the summer, you should probably make advanced dining. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you not to do it. Do it. It takes 30 seconds to make an advanced dining reservation online. Just do it. Go do your homework on the restaurants and go and make advanced dining reservations. You'll just be happier for it. Fast Pass. This one's kind of tricky for me because my son, being on the autism spectrum, we get something called a guest assistance card. We don't need to use Fast Passes. I know that people that use them scream how helpful they are, and they can't live without them, and they say they're amazing. I would follow that advice wholeheartedly. I think that for the rides that give you Fast Passes, get them, use them, make them your friend, make them happen. Water bottles. Bring your own water bottles. Bring like the plastic ones, not like the ones that your Evian water comes in, but like an actual sports bottle. And you can refill it in the parks. Like I said, if you go back to my packing videos, you'll see like I use Mio, we use the Gatorade packets, we flavor the water that way because the water in Florida is horrible. I am not a big fan of over planning anything. I'm kind of a fan of being a little bit loosey-goosey in the parks, especially your first time out, and kind of letting stuff happen. But I do think that in order to have a happy loosey-goosey day, you should make a list of attractions, of rides, of shows, of things that you don't want to miss. Characters that you can't go without seeing. Restaurants you can't go without eating in. Shops that you need to go into. Parades you want to see. And that brings me to the next one, which is don't rush, which is another good tip that I absolutely love. Like I said before, some people, and I've seen it and it makes me crazy, people go into the parks and they go in and they actually literally run through the parks to get to wherever it is they're going. And I can't see that that's a fun vacation. I can't see that knocking down a 3-year-old child to get to point B is fun, casual, happy. And I don't know how you go home and tell anybody that you had a good time because you knocked over 3 toddlers to get to Splash Mountain first. Don't rush. Disney World is all about the small details, and there are a lot of them. And even if it's not about the physical details, it's about the personal details. It's about interacting with cast members. Like I said before, it's about interacting with your fellow guests. It's about the whole experience. It's about listening to the music. It's about seeing the plantings. It's about recognizing what an amazing, amazing place Disney World is and how much magic it holds and how unique it is. There's no place like it in the whole wide world. And your first trip out is, I'm actually really jealous that it's your first trip out because that first trip is so incredible and magical and awesome because you get to see it for the first time and you get to experience it for the first time, and I don't ever get a first time again. I go there and I'm still awed and wowed by a lot of things, but I can do the parks with my eyes closed. I can do them blindfolded at this point. I know how many steps it is from point A to point B. I miss that form of magic that you guys are going to be getting, and I think that's awesome. So go slow. Watch the walkways, watch your feet, watch how when you're in Magic Kingdom, and I keep going back to Magic Kingdom because it's my favorite park, but when you're in Magic Kingdom, watch the ground and watch how the floor, the ground changes between the different lands. You've got Fantasyland, if you're coming in to the Magic Kingdom, you're walking up Main Street, you'll see the castle, which is, forget it, goosebump inducing amazing. I don't care how many trips you've been on, first, last, and millionth, that always gives me goosebumps seeing that castle for the first time. But the walkway changes. You'll see, you go to the left and you go through Adventureland, and you'll go through Frontierland, and you go through Liberty Square and Fantasyland, and then back. But the ground changes through each land. So it's subtle little things like that. The lighting changes, the cast members' costuming changes, and they're not allowed to cross certain lines so that their costuming stays in character. It's just, it's an amazing place with an eye to detail, which is what Walt did best, I think. The whole park tells a story. The whole park, the whole place is a show for you. Don't miss any of it. And speaking of not missing things, it behooves you to go back and take a nap at some point during the day. At some point, you're going to have to cut out and go nap because there's just so much to do and see that you're going to be tired and you're going to want to stick around at night because the fireworks shows are awesome. Epcot has something. It has a fireworks show. It's called Illuminations, and it takes place on the big, I want to say Bay Lake, but that doesn't feel right. So why can't I think of what it's called? The big water. I'm running out of words here. The big lake, I think it's Bay Lake, but maybe it's not. The big body of water that separates the World Showcase from the rest of the park. On there, and this makes me sound like such a rookie that I can't come up with a word, the name, but they have a nightly fireworks show called Illuminations that you should not miss. It's phenomenal. It's at 9 o'clock every night, and then in Magic Kingdom they also have fireworks that they get shot up over the castle. That is phenomenal. Don't miss it. Make sure you definitely incorporate that into one of your evenings. Those are the tips that I have written down. I mentioned a birthday badge to you. See, this is why I write stuff down. I mentioned getting a birthday badge, which you should definitely do if it's your birthday, or if it's anybody's birthday. Disney celebrates, the official line on birthdays for Disney is, if your birthday falls within a month of your trip, you're a birthday kid. You get to celebrate your birthday. What you want to do is you want to go to Town Hall or any of the guest relations centers, and all you have to do is ask a cast member. Actually, no, when you check into your hotel, if you're on Disney property, when you check into your hotel, tell your cast member, tell the agent checking you in, the cast member checking you in, that it's your birthday, and they will give you a birthday button, and it says happy birthday, and they'll write your name on it. Everybody will say happy birthday to you. All the cast members will say happy birthday. You might get some free stuff. You never know in the restaurants. Sometimes they give you free birthday cupcakes. But it's just kind of a fun way to celebrate your birthday, having strangers say happy birthday to you, like my family always does. And other families do it too. I hear it all over the parks, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. So it's kind of a nice thing to do. So go to guest relations, or go to when you're checking in, if you're staying on property, tell your cast member that's checking you in that it is indeed a birthday trip that you're celebrating. And then everybody else will also get an I'm celebrating button. So that's fun too. And Magical Express, really quick, going back to that. When you book your Disney trip, you're booking it through Disney, you're booking it through a travel agent, doesn't matter, I don't care. You want to tell them that you need to book the Magical Express as well. Magical Express is Disney's complimentary shuttle, a bus that runs between the airport and all the Disney resorts. And again, this is a good example of why you should pack your patience, because it runs around the clock all the time, and they don't send a bus out until the bus is full. But I actually did a vlog on the Magical Express, sitting on the Magical Express. So if you go back through my vlogs, you'll actually see my Magical Express vlog. But definitely use the Magical Express, because when we get off the plane, that's when the magic starts for my family. When we hit the monorail at the Orlando airport, and then we go downstairs and we get on the Magical Express, that's the start of our vacation. So it becomes part of your tradition. You start to get the Disney magic before even leaving the airport, and it's a complimentary shuttle, so why wouldn't you? And it's only available if you're staying on Disney property. I'm trying so hard because it's been so long since it was my very first trip. Obviously, pack cameras, pack video cameras, pack extra batteries for your cameras, pack extra memory cards for your cameras, because you're going to take so many pictures. Find the characters. Go and take character pictures. They're the best ever. I'm really big on character. I'm the only one in my family that digs on the character pictures. I'm always dragging people around. I'm like, character! There's Tigger, there's Pooh, picture! Look at the wait times on the rides. You can come back, or you can fast pass it, or you don't have to come back that day. The ride will be there. If you miss a ride this trip, don't stress. Odds are you'll go back. What else can I tell you? Pay attention to the weather forecast. If it calls for rain, pack a poncho in your bag, or an umbrella like I do. Pack a hat, because the sun gets hot. Make sure you put sunblock on before you leave your hotel room. Make sure you reapply it. Drink lots of water. Sit and rest. It's okay to sit down and look. People watching is one of my most favorite things to do in the parks. It's okay to sit and just watch. If you're unsure where something is, ask a cast member. They almost always know, and if they don't know, they'll figure it out for you. What else can I tell you? So hard. Like I said, I'm trying to come up with things to tell you, because it's been such a long time. My first trip was in 1978 when I was 5 years old. So it's been a while since my first trip. And my first solo trip was 20 years ago. So much has changed, and so much is... what else can I tell you? Like I said, pack your patience, pack your sense of humor. Be friendly, be kind, be nice to your cast members. You know how I feel about cast members. They can make or break your vacation. They're one of the most important parts of your trip are the cast members. Just go and have a good time, and know you're not going to see everything this trip. That's probably the most important point that I can stress to you. Make your list of things that you must see and hit those must see things, and then don't sweat it when you don't see the rest of it. You'll go back. I think that's it. I can't come up with anything other than the second I turn the camera off, I'm going to be like, dumb cough. 10 other things that I wanted to tell you, but I can't think of what they are right now. So if you have specific questions, please. Planning people's first trips, helping people out with first trips is one of my favorite things to do. So please, please, please don't hesitate to contact me, send me a comment, send me a message. Ask away. I'm more than happy to help out with whatever I can. One more thing, and I just thought of it. See, I knew I'd think of something. You need to visit my favorite planning website ever, and that's allears.net. allears.net. It's run by a woman named Deb Willis, and she is probably the best Disney planner I've ever run across. Her website has got everything from all the menus to park hours to rehab schedules, parade times, events that are going on, where to find the characters, comparing ticket prices. She's got layouts and photographs of all the hotels. She's got prices. She's just got one of the most comprehensive websites ever, and it's my favorite one to tell people to go to. So please, definitely go there, and you probably will have all your questions answered if you go there and actually really sit down and take the time to peruse it. But like I said, if there's anything else that you guys need to know, and this vlog is not specific to the requester of this video, anybody, if you have any questions about Disney World, please don't hesitate to email me or send me a message or put a comment below. I love hearing from you. It makes me smile. It makes me happy. So that's it. Peace out, my peeps.